Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner. Once again, this program, we like to catch up with Worthington Trojan and Minnesota West coaches throughout the school year. We're talking now with Minnesota West Bluejay men's basketball coach Coach Babler. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great.
Coach, let's talk about the last couple of games. You began division play on Wednesday last week, hosting the Riverland Blue Devils, and of course, record going in 3-9. All that you just throw it out the window. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about the situation you're in. You play really good competition in kind of the preseason / opening of the year, but the division game's what counts. Tough loss against Riverland Wednesday, 75-68. Just from the standpoint, really kind of one run by Riverland in the middle of that second half was the difference. Then every time you kind of try to make a run at him, it seems the Klinkner kid just hit another big three on you.
Yeah, he had a huge night on us, and it was just kind of a weird night in general. I think three of our guys got hit in the face. Qual was sick with the flu during the game, and Darren was still out with a ankle sprain. So, we kind of ran out of gas against them, but I thought we were the better team for most of the game, and they made big plays down the stretch that our freshmen weren't quite prepared to answer.
Yeah, really that one run kind of the difference. I mean, you obviously never like to lose, especially at home, but I would have to imagine overall your effort by your guys, you had to be pretty pleased with how they came out and competed, especially I thought in that first half.
Yeah, we're 4-4 in our last 8 now, and I've just seen increased effort, and we're still working on the focus part of it, and I think that's what Riverland was. It was just like focus when we were tired, but I thought our effort throughout was great. And we've steadily built leads, especially first half, early into second half, and we've struggled holding them. So it was encouraging to see us hold on against Fergus Falls when they made their run in the second half.
Let's talk about that Spartans win on Saturday. The Bluejays getting the victory, even up your division record at 1-1. And I think coming off that Wednesday game where you had so many positive things, but you still had that loss, I was kind of interested myself just to see how the guys were going to come out of the gate. You got a weekend game, you're at home. How are they going to kind of respond to it? Boy, did they ever. I mean, I thought you guys came out of the gate right away and really kind of set a tone right out of the gate on Saturday.
Yeah, we messed with our lineup a little bit and brought Kevin in and let him start and match up and put on some full court pressure, which is, he's a super athlete.
Yeah.
The guy can just move, great lateral quickness. So, and the team really loves him too. So it was more about trying to put a few of those guys in positions to be successful. And then, of course, we had, probably our best offensive group closers who were coming in off the bench. And it challenged the other team to match up with us while the game's going on. So, it was just a little curveball at Fergus, and we'll continue to start throwing curveballs at folks to try to get advantages early.
Well, I think with this rotation you're kind of going with right now, the good thing is you kind of have some flexibility. You bring Kevin, you're going to start him. Okay, so we're going to bring kind of a little more pressure, add a little more pace. But obviously with Trey's ability down low, and I thought Trey was outstanding on Saturday. But, now that Darren's back, you can go a little bigger, maybe a little more inside if you need to. So it seems like guys are starting to get a little more comfortable with their roles, conversely giving you kind of more options how you want to play it.
I think the biggest thing is guys have lost their ego. It's about the team with this group now, which is in sharp contrast to what it was early. And they're, whatever it is, they're just trying to go out there and win basketball games right now, which is good to see.
Let's talk about Trey's game on Saturday. 20 points. I had him for 11 rebounds. And, I mean, it was just great to see. It's fun to watch young basketball players kind of learn and get more comfortable as they go on. Sometimes we've seen Trey kind of rush moves, rush shots early in the year. He had the drop step working beautifully on Saturday and just let the game come to him. And he's such a great closer down low that if he takes his time, makes a strong move, more often than not, it's 2 points or a foul.
Trey Waugh is a fantastic kid. That's what nobody gets to see during the games. He's just a great kid. And, the basketball stuff has kind of come slowly for him. And now I think the last 3 games he's been up above 50% shooting And like you said, he's really taking his time when he catches the ball to make the right move now instead of kind of just turning around and getting blocked. So the game keeps, getting a little easier for him. And, now he's starting to meet the billing. We had him pegged for a guy who'd go out for a double-double every night, and we've gotten it out of him last 2 or 3 games. And I think we'll continue to see it through this conference season.
Let's talk about Jaden Hampton. We do it a lot because he's really good and he's a lot of fun to watch. And the competitor he is, for a guy who's 6 feet, you might, sometimes maybe some people might overestimate him, which is a terrible move because he wants to win first and foremost. I mean, you look at the 32 points, but I think more of just he really seemed to be kind of in control when you needed a bucket, just able to kind of make a play and get you a big bucket when you needed it.
Yeah, he played like a big-time player.
Yeah.
And he is. He's another guy that things are just breaking down and getting easier for him as they go. He's becoming to be a better off-ball mover, which makes other guys more of a threat. And if you look at our shooting percentages here, the last 3-4 games, a couple games before the break, we're 20 points higher than we were at the beginning of the season. So as we work together better, it makes a guy like Jaden that much more of a threat because now he's not only a catch and shoot threat, he's that dribble penetration threat. He's beating guys down the court and in the leak outs. He's tough. He's just tough. Yeah,
I think that was one thing. I think Fergus Falls technically did out-rebound you, but I thought rebounding, especially your defensive rebound, I thought was pretty stellar. Because a team like that, like Fergus Falls, that shoots a lot of threes, you get a lot of those long offensive rebounds.
Yep.
Not much you can do about that. But the ones where contested, I thought you guys really did a good job defensive rebounding. And then, like you said, Jaden leaks out, and they're in a situation they're trying to bring pressure. All right, just throw it over the top for an easy 2.
Yeah, and we're not a very good rebounding team. We haven't been all year, and I just think with our size, the way it's built, physically, the way guys are built physically, we're never going to be a great rebounding team. But if we can get our stops, limit teams to 1 offensive shot per possession, we can be darn tough because we can match up in the full court and we can produce turnovers and guys are quick enough where they'll get out and finish.
Been talking about Kowal Chol obviously quite a bit, and Kowal having a great year and a great game Saturday. Also want to really kind of give a couple of quick mentions here to a couple of guys. Jeremy Joseph, obviously, we always knew he could shoot, and it's just kind of like you said, getting more comfortable. The stroke seems to be pretty solid now. And Jordan Snelling, came in with so much energy, maybe a little too much, again, trying to get comfortable with what he can do and what's expected of him. But now he's starting to settle down into a really nice role with this team.
Yeah, he's rebounding the basketball better. He's a superb free throw shooter, so we'd love to see him assert himself a little bit more in the lane, with power moves, with pump fakes. He's a guy that we need and we have needed, so he's stepping up. Jeremy I think he's top 7 or top 8 in the conference in shooting percentage from the three-point line. He's a threat that makes life easier for Trey, makes life easier for Qual, makes life easier for Jaden, especially when they're slashing through. So, we need him to keep shooting the basketball with some confidence. And Brandon Harkula I think he's shooting above 50% from 3 since the break too. So those guys who aren't necessarily quote unquote stars, they're starting to buy into what they have to do to help us win, and as they do that, they're becoming really great in their own rights.
Yeah, I think Brandon's a really good example of that, of getting comfortable, really kind of setting his shots, and seemed like, again, early in the year, you're finding yourself, and seemed like he's trying to rush himself, I don't know whether I should shoot or drive, okay, now you can just see the comfort, okay, if I'm on this wing and I get the ball, I'm going to set and shoot. If not, all right, let's move the ball. Just kind of that comfort level is really starting to show with all these Blue Jays now.
And it's really between the years for so many of them. They're just much more positive when it comes to their teammates and themselves, and a lot of that confidence is coming from repetitions in practice, and these guys enjoying one another a lot more. So that's fun to see. I think when you talk about student athletes, that's the student aspect of what we're doing here. So it's fun to see these guys get it and find success doing it.
Bluejays 4-10, but more importantly 1-1 in Southern Division play. A couple of road games this week, starting Wednesday night against on the road over in La Crosse against Western Tech. What do you know about the Cavs?
They're scoring a lot of points with 3 guys right now in an open post offense. Film is scarce on them, so they just took Rochester into double OT in a 109-119 loss. But it'll be a dark, small gym, and we're gonna have to go in there and battle because 4-hour drive over to La Crosse is gonna be, it's gonna test our mental toughness on Wednesday.
Bluejay men's basketball coach, Kris Babler, joining us here on Coach's Corner. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thanks.